Today, let's figure out what networking means and what it actually looks like today. And we're going to clear up some misunderstandings. Networking is not making idle chit-chat at cocktail parties. Networking is not something you do only when you need something like a new job. And no, it's not easy. Networking is never easy. Sorry to disappoint you. So toss out those old ideas, get them out of your head, create some space for the good new stuff I have to fill it with. Here's why networking's not easy. It's a human activity. And I don't need to tell you how squirrely and weird humans are. Take a look at your own brain. Today, what do you want? What do you want tomorrow? We want one thing one day, something else the next day, and then layer in social media. It gives us FOMO. Instagram makes us feel that life is peachy when, in reality, we're just trying to hold it all together. So networking, by definition, an interaction with another human, is not going to be straightforward. If you're carrying stress or strain because you're imagining you're a bad networker, because that activity doesn't come easy to you, drop that now. And I'm going to tell you what the heck, because you might be asking yourself, if it's not schmoozing and if it's not easy, what is it? It's an essential activity that you undertake every single day, kind of like breathing. Just stop for a moment to think about your average day. The alarm goes off. You wake up. If you're like me, you ignore all the advice on mobile phone use and you immediately pick up your smartphone to check the happenings in your social circle. From, what news, friends are chatting about maybe on Twitter to who's got some fabulous life that they posted an amazing picture of on Instagram. Then maybe you pop over to email to see what horror story is happening over there. And you know what? You might still have people in your network who leave you a voicemail and maybe you check those as well. After you've gotten through all of that, you get into the in real life parts of your day. From perhaps greeting neighbors or talking to someone in an elevator, to chatting with parents as you drop off kids at school, to picking up coffee with, go to Starbucks, you talk to the barista. Maybe you collaborate with colleagues and you speak to them because you're in the same office. You're not, over Skype or other technology that you have to chat on a Slack channel, but you're talking with familiar faces. And all of that is networking. All of those human interactions are networking. There are chances, tons of chances on a daily basis to connect and make a real human connection. Okay, that connection may be brief, but guess what? Over time, all those tiny interactions add up. Because here's the thing. How you show up regularly and consistently, that's what builds a network. And you know what? I'm a huge proponent of tiny networking actions, micro networking as I like to refer to it, because I think that shows more of who we really are than swooping in once in a while with the perfect handshake and introduction. So let's dive into the power of regular daily networking activities. Let's start with email, the bane of most of our existence. The number of emails sent and received daily is approximately 246 billion. I know, I'm in shock. 246 billion, a number that kind of makes you want to scream, pull your hair out, but don't. Let's just seize upon the networking power of this. Take a look at your email and take a look at your email signature line. Does it convey the value or expertise you bring to the table? If you're in the creative field, could you use the signature line to showcase your talent? When my book came out, I put a cover of my book in my signature line. What better way to connect with people to let them know what I'm doing than the cover of my book? For your personal email, would an inspirational quote shine a light on your personality or values? Could you change it up regularly to highlight your interests, especially if those interests are seasonal or there's an upcoming milestone event? Why not add a link to an award you've received or a cause you deeply believe in? That personal information may spark a bigger business connection than you've possibly imagined. Let's talk about the out-of-office autoresponder, or that vacation message. This is actually a considerate way to set expectations, plus it tells your network what you're up to. It could form the basis for your next conversation. And on the flip side, when you get a message back from someone that they're out of the office, you can relax that they haven't responded to your email. You know what's going on with them. It provides the icebreaker for the next time that you do talk to them. Let's talk about voicemail. Okay, I know some people don't call anymore, but some people do. From the tone to the wording, it sets an impression. There's actually an attorney I know in Sydney, Australia, who uses his voicemail in a rather humorous way. He leaves a rather amusing message, which causes most of the M&A community in that city to call him to check the message. It spreads his reputation far and wide, probably a lot better than handing out business cards. Your online bio. This encompasses your work or company website, along with LinkedIn, plus any volunteer or committee roles you may have. It's a first impression, because first impressions are not just made by handshakes and cocktail parties. That first impression is made when someone puts your name into Google and hits search. What does your online presence say about you? Is it amplifying the message and impression you give in a one-on-one meeting, or is it detracting from it? Right now, you're listening to this podcast, and I hate to inform you, someone out there is probably referring your skills, talking you up, and somebody else is Googling you. What are they finding? Make sure you're not short-circuiting opportunities by dropping the ball, by ignoring the importance of your online presence. And while we're on the online presence, let's talk about your headshot. Networking is really all about connecting with another person. So as much as some of us may hate having our picture taken, go and get a picture taken. Your headshot from 20 years ago or slouched on the sofa, I hate to tell you, is not sending the right message. Here's some other ways that you can think about networking every day. Where are you sitting in your co-working space? Does your office have an open plan? Are you going to the same seat every day? Listen, we all retreat to our comfort zone. But take a minute to reflect on your seating habits for the past week or month. Am I right? Have you been sitting in the same place? So why don't you shake things up in your networking by sitting somewhere else? It's a simple habit to change, and who knows what'll happen. I know I've given you a lengthy list, but here's some other relatively common interactions that could apply to you. And if they do, I now want you to think about them as networking opportunities. If you're in your own business, do you send out a bill or an invoice? That's networking with clients. What about the conversation with your hairdresser or personal trainer? I mean, you can talk about more than the weather or how much you hate humidity in your hair. Why don't you talk to them about what your career ambitions or your business needs are? Because guess what? They have other clients, and those clients may be able to help you. Business cards. No, they're not dead yet. My card currently includes a picture of my book cover, and the new ones will add a reference to this podcast. Why? Because it's a chance for me to network out with different people, the things that I'm up to, and the things I'd like them to take notice of. Birthday greetings. I know it probably seems lame to wish someone happy birthday on Facebook, but guess what? An annual touch point like that keeps a relationship alive. Likes and retweets. If you're a social media hound like me, again, they seem, I don't know, it seems light. It may seem pathetic. It may not seem like the most meaningful way to stay in touch with someone, but it is. And it's either a way to build a stronger relationship or to make a new friendship. So don't think they're so lame. Use them. One last in real life one, holding the door. It signals what kind of person you are. So hold the door for someone tomorrow or today if you're listening to this early in the morning. There's a full day ahead to hold the door, so do it. Okay, so there's likely more. I'm going to leave it at that, but I'm going to give you 3 takeaways on this first episode of the Build Your Dream Network podcast. So here we go. Take a look at your typical day from start to finish. Are there opportunities to further relationships you already have? Think about showing more interest in a casual acquaintance than, hey, how are you? I want you to review the communications you regularly send out. Is there any way to finesse the language to show more of who you are or the service offering you provide? One last thing, scan over the communications you've been on the receiving end of. What's been said or shared from a contact you've been trying to get closer to? In the rush and haste of life, you may have missed a valuable networking opportunity. That's it for now. We'll see you next week.